I also better check who in fact is who. Who? Which one is Paul? Which one
I'm
is
I'm
Anthony?
I'm Paul. That's Anthony.
Right. Okay. So I got you mixed up before. So it's Anthony who looks like Owen Morgan, or Owen Morgan looks like you a little bit. Yeah. So what have you sort of kept yourself busy with in this kind of pandemic period? I know a lot of people have got involved in a lot of writing and recording. Has that been something similar for you?
Yeah, it was at the start. Well, I mean, during the first lockdown, back in
Last March.
last March, we had almost finished the album, recording the album, and then we couldn't even get back to our studio to put the finishing touches on it, which was funny. So we had to wait for 3 months or so before we could get back to finish it off. And I think after that, I think for the first few months, I was using the time to write again and to just to focus on the music side of it. But you go through phases as well. You go through like phases of you get sick of writing and you don't feel like it, and you feel like you're a fraud, and you actually, I don't know, you can turn against writing. I did for a while, but I think that's because of the ups and downs of the lockdown itself. So I've been kind of going in waves. Some writing, some not.
I mean, as I understand it, over in England, I mean, they've kind of relaxed the lockdown a lot. But so how is it working in Ireland and specifically in Dublin?
We're only slowly easing lockdown the past few weeks. So on the 2nd of May, you could travel outside of your county.
Okay.
So now on the 4th of June, or the 7th of June, pubs and restaurants start opening again. Last week, non-essential retail opened up, so it was very, very slow, extremely slow. And we've been in kind of lockdown since October. So that's what, 6 months, 7 months of it.
Yeah.
I think the last 2 months just so slow. Everybody was just waiting because dates were being put out, and then people were getting vaccinated very slowly at the very start. And now everything's starting to pick up.
Anyway, let's go back to you. I've been listening to this one song, Cherry Picked. So, and I just wanted to check, is actually the latest release that you've put out? Is that correct?
Stones, it's not the latest release. Our song Stones Throw will be the latest release, but Cherry Pick was the first single.
Okay. So, and what was the other one? Oh Love. Where did that come into the scheme of things?
It was Cherry Picked was the first single back in March.
Yeah, and then Oh Love.
Oh Love in at the end of April, and then Stone's Throw was released 3 weeks ago.
When will you release the album then?
So the album is released tomorrow.
Right.
So it'll be out on all digital platforms, and we'll have physical copies available online as well.
So, and you were saying earlier that it's going to be very strange, releasing an album without really being able to do anything with it. But I mean, have you got anything planned at all, sort of online, or have you got any videos lined up?
We have so we actually released a music video for Stone's Throw last week, and then we have a couple of acoustic videos which we did today, album release.
Another thing I was looking at was some of these live performances. Now, as I understand it, you're a duo these days, but there was more than two people on the stage. So who was the third guy? There was one live version of Cherry Picked.
Oh, that was Mark. Yeah, so Mark is Mark is our bass player and our sound engineer and whatever else we want him to be on the road.
Okay.
And Mark travels with us wherever we go. He started out as a sound engineer, and then he regressed to bass player.
Poor man. But it seemed to be like twiddling knobs on some kind of mixer or keyboard. I wasn't quite sure what.
A small little synth, tiny little synth that he has connected to his laptop.
Okay, is that little Korg thing?
Yes,
it is. Yeah.
That's the idea of a lot of the new tracks. We'll have a lot of kind of soundscape kind of things going on in the background. You know, just very mellow, like a lot of like just undertones, not in the forefront. So, we're yeah, that's what we're using Mark for.
That's the thing. It kind of has people talking because people are so used to listening to something that's going to, I don't know, be easy to listen to, and also it can be easily forget. Mm-hmm. If you have something else that's just out there, people always remember that whatever was out there, you'll always have that on their mind and go, okay.
I find it actually quite difficult. I mean, listening to you, I mean, I wouldn't say, oh, it's folk music from Ireland, because that's exactly what it doesn't sound like to me.
Nice.
We don't know what we are.
Well, it's good, isn't it? I mean, well, that's the kind of thing I like, because it kind of suggests a little bit of kind of almost like chaos theory. Because you're not quite sure what's going to happen or how it's going to happen, you know, but you know it's going to be musically interesting, and I think that's what kind of attracts me to sort of all sorts of different types of music, you know. Yeah, so let's say that things ease up and you can get out and play. Where are you going to do that? Are you thinking that you're going to be staying in Ireland pretty much this year, or will you be looking to sort of tour around?
Well, funnily enough, a tour that's been put off like 4 times now because of this pandemic has been Germany. We were supposed to be, I think a week before everything locked down last year, we were supposed to head over to Germany for a while. So we have August, I think we have a few dates booked for a full band tour. And then November we have
3 weeks.
3 weeks of just a 2-piece, all in Germany. So that's the first.
Oh, okay.
That's the first plan of attack anyway. And then our first real thing is we'd love to play small venues around Ireland, just to kind of ease our way back into it.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have a full band. We have different. You were saying you saw Mark in that live version of the track. So that's the 3-piece. We have a 4-piece and we have a 5-piece. But we almost feel more comfortable as a 2-piece, because I could close my eyes for an hour and just play the music and know that we're going to we're gonna understand each other on stage. You know, it's very comfortable. It's very comfortable just for the 2 of us to play together.
So, is your kind of previous band, the Young Folk, is that kind of like officially no more, or?
Yeah, well, the whole thing was that there was so many changes in the band over the years.
Yeah.
Myself and Paul, we've been playing together for maybe 15 years. And over those 15 years, so we started off the Young Folk, I reckon it was maybe 12 years ago. And from them 12 years, I reckon there was probably about 15 different members.
Wow.
And then myself and Paul were always the original.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were thinking, okay, there's too much of a change, that we'd like a fresh start with this new album. The Young Folk, we had a great time in the Young Folk. We've traveled to places that I've never ever dreamed of traveling, that I didn't even actually know about, some cities that I didn't have a clue about. And yeah, I felt, or we felt last year, that it was the right time to retire that name.
Okay.
And with that name, you actually do get, as you were saying, you don't like pigeonholing people, but you do get pigeonholed with the young folk. We've played a lot of folk festivals, and sometimes our set wouldn't be as folk as people thought it was going to be.
Or an interviewer will say, "You're not that young, are you?"
That's a good one. Yeah, so I'm going to say, guys, thanks very much for taking the time to do the interview. We truly appreciate that. And I am going to look forward to having the chance to come and see you.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And having a nice, cool, refreshing beer, either before or afterwards,
During.
or all three. I don't
All
mind.
three, yeah.
I'm open to anything.
Thanks, Nigel.
Okay, thank you. And I'll say
Definitely.
goodbye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.